Hey there. Good day to you. I'm Bernie Miklasz. And as you have probably guessed, this is the Bernie Show presented by DraftKings. The crown is yours. Here on STL Sports Central, I do one video per day and one column per day, Monday through Friday, and appear on the Randy Carricker Show every Friday at 10:30 a.m. You can watch me or catch me frequently on KMOX, Gas House Gang, or Redbird Rush Hour, Sports on a Sunday morning. Also, I joined Katie Wu on the Cardinal Territory video podcast a couple times a week, and I do a weekly Seeing Red podcast with my friend Will Leach. Thank you for supporting my work. Today's topic, Sonny Gray isn't a number one starter, but apparently he is an ice cube. And later in the video, I'll discuss preliminary concerns about the Cardinals starting pitching going forward beyond 2025. Well, as you know, Sonny Gray had yet another disappointing start on Tuesday, giving up a homer, 8 hits, and 3 earned runs in his 5 innings as the Cardinals lost to the Marlins 5-0. Gray's season has obviously gone south. In his last 9 starts, Sonny Gray has been hammered for a 6.07 ERA, and while his fielding independent ERA is much better than that, doesn't really mean that much to me. Why? Because Sonny Gray's last 9 outings, he's only turned in 1 quality start, and he's had a below average game score in 4 of the 9 starts. That is not the work of a true number one starter. No way, no how. This stretch of starts began on June the 12th, and over that time, his 6.07 ERA ranks 74th among 77 big league starting pitchers. This is not good at all, not a number one starter. And it looks like, here we go again, it looks like another John Mozeliak contract is going bad. Now, Gray isn't a kid. He's 35 years old this year. He'll be 36 next season. He's got 1 more year to go on his 3-year deal with the Cardinals, and the trends are not promising. And to pay Gray, if you go back in time, when they signed him, they kind of backloaded the contract. They wanted to pay him a smaller salary in his first season, which was last year. So they paid him $10 million last year, and at that price, he was a bargain. Gray's making $25 million this season, not so much a bargain, and his salary jumps to $35 million in 2026. Now, that's a lot of money. I don't care what guys get paid. Trust me, I don't care. I'm not a player hater. The owners, have their franchise values rocketing up every year. I don't begrudge players to get what they can. But $35 million salary for 1 year for a pitcher is a lot of money. In fact, as of now, Gray's $35 million salary for next season would be the 4th highest salary among major league starting pitchers next season. Now, that could change, of course, so because there's going to be people signing, there's going to be trades, whatnot. And listen, I also want to say Gray can still pitch well. And there will be some starts where he is absolutely magnificent. He's had a few of those this year. And for the most part, he will be an asset in the Cardinals rotation for the most part. But that's not saying much because this rotation is among the worst in the majors. And because of his inconsistency and because he gets lit up on the road, like both years as a Cardinal, I mean, the road stats against him are horrible. He's been much more better. He's been much better, much more consistent at Busch Stadium over the last 2 years, but he's more vulnerable and hittable at home this year compared to last year. I mean, he's definitely more hittable at Busch Stadium. As I mentioned earlier, the Gray trends are not encouraging. Since the start of July, listen to this one now. Since the start of July in 2024, Sonny Gray's got a 4.55 ERA in 35 starts. He's been popped for a 4.47 slugging percentage. In case you're wondering, that 4.55 ERA since last July 1st ranks 25th among 28 big league starters, 25th among 28 big league starters who have worked at least 200 innings over that time. And yes, Gray's fielding independent ERA is much better over that time than his standard ERA. But again, I prefer not to look at it that way because I do think I should mention it because I think it's fair to mention it. but I'd prefer not to say, well, then he's pitched great. Look at his fielding independent ERA. He's been fantastic. I mean, that's ludicrous, right? I like metrics. I like fancy pants stats, but not to the point where I'm a mindless Kool-Aid drinker, all right? So just because Sonny Gray's fielding independent ERA is better than his standard ERA, I'd rather be straight about that and say, look, he's not one of the best starters in the major leagues. I don't even think he's a top 15 or 20 starter. I don't even know how to categorize it, even except to say he's not a number one starter. So with all due respect to him and his fielding independent ERA, sorry, I'd rather be straight about this and instead of shoveling manure in your direction. All of you watching this, not going to shovel manure. Other people can do that to try to, convince the fans of something that's not true. Won't do it. Gray did have a good 2024 season, and so it could be worse because, as I mentioned earlier, the Cardinals paid him only $10 million last year, which is really a great value salary, considering how well he pitched for the most part last season. But I do think it's reasonable to wonder what Gray will look like in 2026. His ERA was 3.84 last season, and that's jumped to 4.38 this season. Gray's strikeout rate has decreased by 4% from last season. His whiff swing rate is down as well. His StatCast fastball value is better than it was last year, but it's still below average. And hitters continue to put up big numbers against his fastballs, especially the four-seamer and the sinker. There are some positive StatCast trends for Gray as well, including his chase rate. So there's some stuff in there that's good, that's solid. But that's not enough for me to just say, okay, I'm not concerned at all. That's all I'm saying. No, there are some flashing warning lights, and it's okay to be adults and talk about those too. Compared to 2024, for example, percentage against Gray is up by 28 points. The batting average against him is up 41 points. And since last year, there's been a 27-point increase in on-base percentage against him. Now, some of that is due to an increase in batting average against him on balls in play. So, yeah, the luck factor, which is a real thing, is working against him. But that doesn't excuse a lot of this stuff. I mean, the hard hit rate is up. The home run rate is up. I mean, I can't just, again, give a pitcher full cover or even a lot of cover because the batted ball luck's not as good to him as it was last year. But I mention it to try to be fair. And the other thing working against Gray is this giant heat lamp in our universe, otherwise known as the sun, and the impact on the sun on temperatures in the summer, especially in a place like St. Louis. You all know about that. When I return for my second segment of today's Bernie Show, I'm going to explain more on it. And it's quite strange, actually. It's a little funny. And I'm not laughing at Sonny Gray, but it's a little funny because it's so odd. But hey, first, listen up because it's DraftKings time. The baseball season is sizzling, and here we are just a day away from the trade deadline. Heck, by the time you watch this, who knows? Maybe the Cardinals may have made a trade or two. I don't know. Anyway, enhance your baseball summer by going to DraftKings and have some fun by playing their Pick 6 fantasy game, which is the best. Playing DraftKings Pick 6, it's easy to get started. It's you'll enjoy it, and the cash prizes are waiting to be claimed if you can put your baseball knowledge to good use. And I know you can. So just download the Pick 6 app from DraftKings, and there's nothing complicated about making those selections. Each day, DraftKings sets a stat line for dozens and dozens of major league hitters or pitchers for their next game, that night's game, that day's game. Just pick more or less. Other words, you go higher or lower or over or under, more or less on the stats, the line that has been set on those stats by DraftKings for two or more of your favorite players. And then you're in line. You're in the starting gate. You're ready to go for those big cash prizes. Pick 6 is available here in Missouri and many other states. There's nothing to hold you back. I enjoy playing DraftKings Pick 6 Fantasy, and I think you're going to love it too. Don't settle. This is important too. Do not settle for smaller payouts at other places. No way. You deserve better than that. So switch to DraftKings Pick 6, and you'll be at the right place at the right time for winning some cash. Right now, with new customers at DraftKings can get $25 in bonuses with their first deposit of just $5. So download that DraftKings Pick 6 app Do it now. Do it soon. Use the code STL Sports. That's code STL Sports for new customers to get $25 in bonus picks with their first deposit of $5. Better payouts, bigger wins, only with Pick 6 from DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 and over. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Pick 6 not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. One per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick 6 credits that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
All right, welcome back, and thank you for watching the Bernie Show on this Wednesday. Near the top of the video, I referenced Sonny Gray as being an ice cube. I guess I could do better than that. I don't know. Is he an ice cap? Ice caps melt, don't they? Anyway, let's stick with ice cube. It's cuter. I couldn't think of a better metaphor, so let's go. Gray is an ice cube because he melts in July. This isn't a fluke. This isn't about randomness. It isn't about, oh, Bernie, it's just a phase. Bernie, don't overreact. No. It's about Gray's history of July collapses, and this has been going on since 2021, that is. See, I tried to add an extra year in there as if to look ahead into the universe, into the future. I don't know. In his 2 seasons as a Cardinal, Gray had a 6.75 ERA in July of 2024, and this season, that July ERA blew up to 7.81. Can we blame this on global warming? I don't think so. Can we blame it on the St. Louis humidity? No, I don't think so, because we see a lot of pitchers come into Busch Stadium in July and pitch very, very well. Sandy Alcantara did that for Miami last night. This dude, Sonny Gray, God bless him, but he sweats a lot. And, and the thing of it is, he sweats a lot even in May, but he really sweats a lot in June, in July, but July especially. I don't know how he manages to not sweat to incredible amounts in August, but whatever. July has been a problem for him, and he has said that. He's after last night's start, Sonny Gray said it just, everything's slick. It messes with his grip on pitches, so on and so forth. I don't know. Is there a medication out there that can reduce his sweating? I mean, Sonny Gray sweats so much when it's really hot in St. Louis, he could fill a swimming pool with it. So I was thinking about, medications can help. They're there, it's okay to reach for meds, legal meds, as long as, you do it smartly. And so as the smart kids do, to try to get an answer to this, just like all the smart kids, I Googled it, and there are prescriptions, antiperspirants, and there's another medication that I cannot pronounce. Doctors who are watching this, maybe pharmacists who are watching this, will know. But it is a medication that blocks the chemicals that stimulate sweat production. And I didn't realize this. Botox injections can block the nerves that stimulate the sweat glands. Of course, all of these things have potential side effects. And unfortunately, I could find no data on StatCast to explain the impact of Botox on a pitcher's strikeout walk ratio or his ground ball rate. I looked everywhere. I couldn't find that. So maybe Sonny likes the Botox. I don't know. Just kidding. But when Gray pitches in July, the grounds crew's got extra work to do, at least at Busch Stadium, because there are sweat puddles on the mound. Here's my stat of the day. Beginning in 2021, Gray has a 6.22 ERA when pitching in the month of July. That's for all teams, including the Cardinals that he's worked for. Since 2021, 6.22 ERA when pitching in July, and the slugging rate against him in July since 2021 is 465. That's a big number, especially when you compare it to how he pitches in every other month. So in every other month of the regular season since 2021, every other month of the season combined, other than July, Gray's got a 3.30 ERA, and he's been touched for a totally reasonable 3.52 slugging percentage and a much lower home run rate and a lot fewer extra base hits. I don't know. Is it possible to put Gray on the IL next July? The Cardinals would have to justify a medical reason for this. I think I have an answer, at least potentially. Let me see if I can pronounce this right, because I am an idiot when it comes to pronunciations. I can't even get players' names right. How about this? Hyperhidrosis is the medical term. I think I did that right. Hyperhidrosis is the medical term for excessive sweating. According to the renowned Cleveland Clinic, it causes your body to sweat more than it needs to, sometimes for no apparent reason. The Cleveland Clinic website says the condition may make you feel uncomfortable or embarrassed, but it's common. Well, sorry for the cheap shot, but Sonny's July ERA is pretty embarrassing. So maybe the Cardinals trainers can look into this instead of trying to get in prime position in the dugout to get on TV all the time and have Chip Carey and Brad Thompson talk about him every single damn game. This dude, Chris Conroy, is an excellent trainer. He really is. And I admire the way he can get on TV. And he gets more screen time on Cardinals games than you see Robert De Niro in films. I mean, seriously. And Conray's a huge hit in the Chuckle Hut TV booth. I mean, who needs intelligent game analysis and insights when we can talk about a trainer or otherwise giggle profusely for 9 innings? Man, Cardinals really, the Cardinals stand for the highest level of quality, don't they? Anyway, I'm being mean now. Chip, Brad, I'm sorry. There's something else I want to talk about in my third and final segment of Monday's Bernie Show. That would be the 2026 rotation. But first, it's Blue Chew time. Gentlemen, Blue Chew is your big blue dose of power that can help raise your game during those special, intimate, and exciting times with your partner. Hey, you can make those occasions even more exciting now with an assist from Blue Chew. If you're struggling to get to home plate, so to speak, because of a weak offense, then turn to Blue Chew for a big boost of power to your game. You need a more powerful bat, guys, and Blue Chew is in the equipment room, so go get it. Blue Chew is the original brand offering chewable tablets for enhanced performance during those romantic sessions that are a wonderful part of life. So it's time, since we're talking about, I'm using the game metaphor, I'll use another one. So it is time for you to get in the game back again, and once you get into the game, you better upgrade your joystick before you jump back in there. So remember Blue Chew's motto, chew it and do it. Blue Chew can help men of all ages, including dudes like me in their 60s. I appreciate what Blue Chew does for me, and I'd like you to discover the benefits as well. You will get your first month of Blue Chew free. You are just a few clicks away. You sign up at bluechew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you are approved, you're going to receive your prescription at your doorstep in a few days. It's all done online. No scene, no people, no crowds, simple and private, nothing awkward. And you can try your first month of Blue Chew free here just because you're a Bernie Show watcher. Just use the promo code Bernie and you just pay. All you got to pay, you get the month of medication free. The first month, you just pay $5 shipping. That's promo code Bernie to get your first month free. And the only cost to you is that $5 shipping free. What a great way to get started. You can try it for basically nothing. Visit bluechew.com for more details and important safety information. And I sincerely thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the Bernie Show, because this is a message that can help men and they should hear it. And I am proud to present that information. All right, let's get started on the third and final segment of today's Bernie Show. I'll make this quick. As of now, what would the Cardinals rotation look like in 2026? As I said, as of now, because obviously a lot can change between now and the start of the 2026 spring training. You also have a new president of baseball operations, Hein Bloom, coming on. I mean, a lot can change. I expect a lot to change. But as we look at it now, we survey the landscape right now. One starter is gone, and that's Eric Fetty. And another will be, I'm referring to Miles Miklasz, who is in the final year of his second contract extension handed out to him like gummy bears by John Mozeliak. But then again, see, I may be speaking too soon here. It's July the 30th. We still got 2 months to go. That's plenty of time for Mo to give Miklasz yet another contract extension before he walks out the door as the president of baseball operations and turns it over to Hein Bloom. So I think we definitely can remove Fetty because he's already gone. I think it's safe to remove Miklasz. Yeah, it is. But I just wanted to make a joke about Mo because you never can know Mo and Miklasz. Boy, Miles Miklasz, I tell you, man, he'll look back on his career and say, man, John Mozeliak, I'll never be able to repay that dude. Anyway, from the current group of starters, that leaves Sonny Gray, Andre Palante, Matthew Liberatore, and Michael McGreevy. And while I think Liberatore will get better, and I really like his potential, Palante's inconsistent. There are times he's really good, but it's just kind of tough because he doesn't have any swing and miss game at all, hardly. And as much as I respect Michael McGreevy and believe he is worthy of the chance, as I've said many times, he's a back end of your rotation guy. So we're not talking about, okay, you got two really good starters up top with Sonny Gray and McGreevy. No, Sonny Gray's not even the ideal for what you would have as your first starter. So it's Gray, Palante, Liberatore, and McGreevy. I'm sorry, that's not very inspirational. And no offense to those fine gentlemen, and really they are fine gentlemen, but if they represent 80% of your rotation in 2026, that's big trouble. Unfortunately for the Cardinals, and this is baseball today, 3 promising starting pitching prospects won't be factors in 2026 because of the usual Tommy John surgery. Tekoa Roby, Cooper Yerpe, and Sem Robersa. Roby won't even be in the picture until 2027. I can't speak to the other guys, but there's no reason to put them on any, well, they could start for the Cardinals in 2026 lists. No reason to jump to that conclusion. So I'm just going to eliminate them for now and let them get well and hope they recuperate and are as good as new. Well, so what's on the farm? Well, there's Liam Doyle, the fifth overall pick in this year's draft. He's got the power arm and a lot of excitement. Keith Law says he's the best pitcher in this class. He figures to be a candidate for a rotation spot in 2026. Now, I'll do Tony La Russa when he would knock on wood. He would. He'd knock on wood. He'd knock on his head. I like that. Self-deprecating. So just hope that Liam Doyle stays healthy, because you hope that about every pitcher, especially those pitchers who throw hard, right? Last fall, I would have said, Quinn Matthews is a sure thing, because he was dynamic in 2024, and some scouting services had him ranked as the number 1 prospect among all lefty starters in the minors. But it's been a struggle for Quinn Matthews in 2025. He experienced a shoulder issue early in the season, and he hasn't really gotten things synced up in terms of his mechanics. He still lacks fastball command. It's just all over the place. He's not looked good at all. But it also would be silly to dismiss him as a factor in 2026, because if he can smooth out those mechanical flaws and he can get his full velocity back, well, game on. And I don't think that's like some kind of long shot to expect that he will get back on track. So we'll see. My point is, I can't assume this for him in at least the early part of 2026. Just can't assume it, right? Now, some would say Tink Hens, and I'll be polite by not laughing, but this talented dude, and he is very talented, and he's back on Fangraph's top 100 prospects list. He's always hurt. That's a pretty big problem. That's a little bit of an obstacle. He's always hurt. This year, he's pitched only 21 1/3 innings, and this was supposed to be a bridge year. They've taken him to AAA and then close to the majors. He's pitched 21 1/3 innings so far this season. And in fact, he's never thrown more than 79 2/3 innings in any minor league season since the Cardinals drafted him in 2020. You can't plan on Hens being a candidate. I'm sorry, you can't. Now, if he start the rest of this year and then start next year, he stays healthy and he's pitching great, well, then we can put his name on the list, but not right now. As I've joked before, he's more of a rumor than an actual prospect. People don't even see him that much. He exists, but he does not pitch that much. I reached out to our friend Kareem Hack, who tracks Cardinals prospects in great detail, and I really respect his work and his opinion, and you should follow Kareem on X at Kareem SSN. That's Kareem SSN on X. I asked him, I said, well, who, other than a couple of the guys we know about, who are some other people that we should keep an eye on as potentially being in the picture in 2026 at some point? So Kareem offered Eshawn Henderson as a potential candidate. He told me that Henderson's having a breakout season at AA Springfield this year and will likely begin next season at AAA Memphis. Might even bump him up there before this year's over. Kareem says Henderson's got the traits to develop into an effective back of the rotation starter. Okay, and I appreciate the fact that Kareem, that's why I respect him. He's not trying to say, well, this dude's going to be Chris Carpenter. He's not overselling him. Kareem mentioned other And he also said, Matthews could be a factor if he gets everything ironed out. Kareem mentioned two other St. Louis Cardinals pitching prospects that we should keep an eye on. The lefty Bryson Motts and I hope I'm pronouncing this gentleman's name correctly, right-hander Hansel Rincon. They both have improved their pitched arsenal this season. They've added a pitch or two, and their stuff is a lot sharper, and they have improved their stock within the organization. So let's see how they do it and where they go from here. Still a long way to go, and pitchers unfortunately break down. But I have another question. Now that I got the scouting report, the brief scouting reports, I got another question. Do these guys sweat excessively in July? I mean, are they going to disappear in a puddle on the mound because of the humidity in July in St. Louis? Well, I'm giggling, yeah, but because of Sonny Gray, maybe that should become the part of any future scouting report. That's all for now. Once again, thank you very much for supporting my work here at STL Sports Central and for putting up with me. Please subscribe, hit the like button, leave your comments. Feel free to rip away. Feel free to tell me why I'm wrong. Or if I fail to make a relevant point, then you go ahead and please tell me about that as well in the comments. A big thanks to DraftKings for presenting the Bernie Show. I hope you all stay cool and have a great and pleasant and relaxing, if you can relax, on this Wednesday. Thank you.